Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 73. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 19th of June, 2013. Beginning as usual with my first five, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them. Starting with at number 1, Age of Ultron number 10, the finale. The biggest secret in comics will be revealed to you, an ending so confidential even the artists of this book don't know what lies on the final pages. A surprise so big that comic book legend Joe Quesada himself returns to the pages of Marvel Comics to draw a sequence that people will be talking about for years. All covers of Age of Ultron number 10 will be polybagged. Now, it's already been revealed that the controversial character Angela, who debuted in Spawn, written by Neil Gaiman, will be introduced in the Marvel U in Age of Ultron number 10. Marvel editor-in-chief Axel Alonso told Entertainment Weekly about the character's transition, quote, "We took what Neil had laid down for the character and found a way to collaboratively fold her into the Marvel Universe in a seamless way. What's fascinating to me about what we've done is Angela is clearly a part of the Marvel Universe by the time people understand her backstory. It's as if she's always been there. It doesn't feel like we've just opened some portal and brought through something new and strange and completely different into our universe," close quote. Angela creator Gaiman says, quote, "I'm ridiculously proud of Angela, a hunter, a warrior, a take-no-prisoners kick-ass lady angel with whom you would never want to mess. Creating her was fun, writing her early exploits was a delight. It made me sad that her time in comics was cut short, and that people who loved her, including me, thought they'd never see her again. I'm happy that after a long time in the wilderness of non-existence, she's come back to us again, and given what I know about how she's come back and the role she's going to be playing in the Marvel Universe, not to mention the wonderful Joe Quesada designs, she is, as Stan Lee used to delight in saying, back and better than ever," close quote. At number 2, we've got X Factor number 258. The end begins here, the end of X Factor, part 2 of 6. Series writer Peter David recently wrote about his conclusion of the series, quote, "The Hell on Earth War seemed to be a culmination of so many themes and plots that I didn't think I could top it, so after discussing with the editors, we decided to bring it to an end," close quote. Referring to the Hell on Earth War, he said, quote, "I would have liked it to impact the other titles in the Marvel line, but the opportunity to do a company-wide crossover didn't present itself," close quote. Teasing the upcoming issues, he said that he will definitively address the Longshot Shatterstar relationship. Quote, "That's in issue number 259. I got permission from editorial to tell explicitly what the relationship between the two of them is," close quote. He also said he'll address Quicksilver. Quote, "He shows up in the Polaris issue, which will be number 260. I thought it would be interesting to explore their brother-sister relationship," close quote. Referring to his work on the characters, he said, quote, "The fact that I can have things happen to them that will have a permanent effect is certainly liberating, as opposed to having to put everything back to the way it was. I can do stories that are definitive or have major moments in it that has them having to deal with the shock of loss or the unexpected acquisition of things," close quote. At number 3, we've got Superior Spider-Man number 12, No Escape, part 2 of 3. The raft is completely shut down, which means that Spider-Man, Jonah, Glory, and Nora are trapped inside with practically all the villains that the Superior Spider-Man has brutalized over the past 12 issues. It's time for a little payback for the Spider Slayer, Scorpion, Boomerang, and the Vulture. Series writer Dan Slott recently discussed the loss of Peter Parker. Quote, "The training wheels are off. At one of our creative retreats, the first time the Spidey team told the room about this, Axel was the first to go, 'No, you can't do that. You can't kill Peter Parker. You're going to do a Spider-Man book about Doc Ock with no Peter Parker?' 'Yeah.' 'And Peter's dead? He's gone?' 'Yeah, he's gone. He's dead.' It became this big thing in the room. The compromise that was reached was, if you're going to launch a Spider-Man book, Peter Parker's got to be in there. Axel threw out some ideas, and Mark Waid threw out some ideas, and Matt Fraction threw some out too, and what we settled on was the Ghost. If we'd gone with my original plan, there wouldn't have been a Ghost, and I would have regretted it big time. When the insane reaction started coming in from 700, I knew that Superior number 1 was 2 weeks away, with the cliffhanger ending with Ghost Pete. I was so glad. I was like, thank you, Axel Alonso. It really was a way to hold fans' hand and go, it's going to be okay. Look, Peter's still there. He's still lingering as a ghost. And then later we ripped that out. Now let's see what kind of Spider-Man Doc Ock is going to be without Peter Parker on his shoulder as a Jiminy Cricket. This is still a Doc Ock Spider-Man that has experienced, because of the sacrifice Peter Parker made in number 700, all the things that gave Peter the lessons of great power and great responsibility. And especially after his hero turn in issue number 8, he realizes he wasted his previous life on villainy, and there are now deeper rewards to being a hero. He does want to give this a shot, but now he's going to do it his way, and it's going to get crazy. Everything you've experienced up till now in Superior Spider-Man has been with the parking brake on, and now the parking brake gets ripped out of the car, and the foot is just about to slam down on the accelerator. People are going to be like, what the hell? What's going on? It's going to get very cool very fast. Close quote. At number 4, we've got Invincible number 103, Angstrom Levy returns. Writer Robert Kirkman explained the status of the series. Quote, the main mode the book is in now is that it was always this teen superhero comic. That's where it started, and that was the subgenre of superhero comics it was in. It was a book about Mark Grayson, his story with his father, figuring out his powers and who he is and what he does. He made a lot of missteps along the way, but he also accomplished quite a bit. Now, after the events of issue 100 and moving forward, he's an adult. He's in an adult relationship with Adam Eve. She's pregnant, so they're having a child together, and so the book is going to be dealing with more adult problems and more adult issues. This is a character we've actually seen grow to adulthood over the course of 100 issues, and now things will be changing up pretty drastically. We're going to see an Invincible who kind of knows what he's doing more than he has before. He'll make better decisions. He'll still make mistakes and learn from those mistakes, but he'll be learning faster and getting better at things moving forward. I've kind of come to this phase where, if you look at the last 100 issues as a whole, well, has Invincible been a very good superhero? Has he accomplished world-altering things? He's kind of tripped his way through things most of the time, and that's going to change, which is very exciting. Close quote. And at number 5, we've got Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 24. Spider-Man No More continues. Can Miles return to Spider-Man after everything that's happened? There's a new brand of superheroes in town. What is Ultimate Power Pack? Now, issue 23 took us 1 year forward in the life of Miles Morales, and series editor Mark Panacea explains, quote, we've gotten a lot of questions from readers asking if Miles was going to get a girlfriend. Bringing in a little romance was always in Brian's plans, but we wanted to get past some other important coming-of-age stuff before complicating his life with a girlfriend. The jump to 1 year later gave us the kind of distance we needed for Miles to mature enough to have a more significant relationship with someone, close quote. Issue 24 also introduced Ultimate Cloak and Dagger. Panacea says, quote, Brian's been wanting to introduce them for the longest time. He really wanted to expand the cast of young superhumans that Miles could grow with, and this is all part of a very well thought out strategy on his part. Something that will pay off in a big way in 2014. I'm very excited about where this is leading, and I think readers will really dig it too. Close quote. Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got Uncanny Avengers number 9. Ragnarok now continues. A team divided. The Apocalypse twins triumphant. Wolverine discovers the Midnight City and soon wishes he hadn't. The Horsemen of Death shatter the Avengers' body and soul. At number 7, we've got Avengers number 14. The Signal. Prelude to Infinity. All of the origin sites go active as the Earth begins to communicate with something much more ancient than human civilizations. The terror scientists of AIM unveiled the S7 program, Prelude to Infinity, Part 1. At number 8, we've got New Avengers number 7, Why Not War? The Cold War between Atlantis and Wakanda heats up. Who is the secret member of the Illuminati that many of the members do not know about? How does Black Bolt lie? At number 9, we've got Revival number 11. Dana and her father in a race to save Ibrahim from trigger-happy retired militiaman. M gets her hands dirty. Poor Tommy the Torso. And at number 10, we've got Fantastic Four number 9. Did a good-natured prank gone wrong mean Ben Grimm caused the accident that led Victor Von Doom down his wicked path? As the sickness spreads to the other members of the family, their attention turns to righting this past wrong. Could saving Victor be the only way to stop Dr. Doom? Before they answer that, however, they have to deal with the Council of Dooms, who treat the day of the incident as a kind of nativity, and dozens of Dooms from dozens of realities come to witness the birth of the Alpha Doom. Oh boy, that dorm room is going to get crowded fast. For the best the rest this week from DC Comics, we've got 100 Bullets, Brother Lono number 1 of 8. Brother Lono is a brand new 8-issue miniseries set in the world of 100 Bullets. The Eisner Award-winning team behind 100 Bullets, writer Brian Azzarello, artist Eduardo Riso, colorist Trish Mulvihill, letterer Clem Robbins, and cover artist Dave Johnson, returns to tell the story of the baddest Minuteman of all. When last we saw Lono in 100 Bullets, Dizzy Cordova had shot him through the chest, but Lono always was too tough to die. Now, after the final events of 100 Bullets, Lono finds himself in Mexico working on the side of the Angels. But there's always more to a 100 Bullets story, so pick up this extra-sized first issue and see what really is going on with Brother Lono, the cold-blooded killer you hate to love. Next, we've got Batman and Batgirl number 21. What deal would you make to bring someone back from the dead? And in this issue, it's Batman versus Batgirl. Next, we've got Birds of Prey number 21. The birds are forced to work with Calvin Rose in order to protect one of their own in this confrontation that continues in this month's Talon number 9. We've also got Justice League of America's Vibe number 5. On the run from Argus, Vibe jumps into the crosshairs of the Suicide Squad. Next, we've got Red Hood and the Outlaws number 21. There's a bounty on the head of the Outlaws, and Jason can't remember what he did to cause it. We've also got Supergirl number 21. It's Supergirl versus the mysterious Mecha, but was the secret of the new menace? And was Lex Luthor's envoy Alfina planning against Kara? And we've got Wonder Woman number 21. Wonder Woman's already reeling from the battle of a lifetime. How can she possibly withstand an all-out attack from her eldest brother, the deadly Firstborn? London's in ruins, Diana's family is shattered, and gods old and new will feel the Firstborn's wrath. From Marvel Comics, we've got Cable and X-Force number 10, with the same solicit as last time, guest starring the Uncanny Avengers. Hope goes on the run, determined to help Cable whether he wants it or not. But the Uncanny Avengers have been keeping tabs on Hope, and they're not about to let her get tangled up with Cable's band of fugitives. We've also got Captain Marvel number 13, The Enemy Within, part 3 of 5, the villain revealed. Magnetron's sinister plans are finally unveiled. What is the link between Captain Marvel and Magnetron? Plus, Kree sentries? The Avengers assemble in the most pivotal event in Captain Marvel's history. We've also got Indestructible Hulk number 9, Blind Rage Part 1, guest starring Daredevil, the secret of the friendship between Matt Murdock and Bruce Banner. Hulk on the witness stand? Next we've got Morbius the Living Vampire number 6, Cure Everything Part 1. Morbius is laid low long enough. After the Battle of Brownsville, he escapes to Manhattan to Horizon Labs to finally cure his vampirism. But he's not aware Orion's not the same as it once was. It's different. It's better. It's superior. Hold on to your butts. It's time for Morbius versus Superior Spider-Man. We've also got Thunderbolts number 11, Red Menace Part 6. All the secrets are bared and the T-Bolts conclude their second arc. Will the team overcome their mistrust to take out the supplier of gamma-powered Crimson Dynamos? We've also got Ultimate Comics The Ultimates number 26, Ultimates Disassembled Part 2. A new dark force has taken the reins of the world. The Ultimates are no more. Long live the... And we've got X-Men Legacy number 12. To shut down the anti-mutant science cult known as Darwin's Martyrs, Legion is on the verge of making a tremendous sacrifice, forfeiting his mutant powers. Little does he know, his girlfriend, young X-Man Blindfold, is rushing to his aid, and she's recruited her own ragtag team of X-Men to help her. And another thing Legion may not know, the mastermind behind Darwin's Martyrs may just be the villain in possession of his deceased father's brain. If you're reading this, Legion, watch out, it's the Red Skull. From IDW Publishing, we've got Danger Girl Trinity number 3 of 4. The third installment of Trinity will leave the readers gasping for breath as they try to keep up with the tantalizing trio. The action never lets up as we race toward the thrilling bombshell finale. The danger has never been so sweet. Next, we've got Doctor Who number 10. The missing Doctor has been found, but now the TARDIS has vanished, leaving him and his companion stranded in a strange dimension with seemingly infinite skies. How do they plan to escape this steampunk world? By using a World War II-era atomic bomb, of course. Join us for Skyjacks Part 2 of 4. And we've got X-Files Season 10, Number 1. For years they investigated the paranormal, pursued the monsters of the week, and sought the truth behind the extraterrestrial activity, along with the grand conspiracy surrounding it rooted deep within their own government. But when agents Mulder and Scully reunite for a new ongoing series that ushers the X-Files into a new era of technological paranoia, multinational concerns, and otherworldly threats, it'll take more than the desire to believe to make it out alive. The X-Files Season 10 also sees creator Chris Carter return to the fold as executive producer. From Image Comics, we've got Mara number 5 of 6 by Brian Wood. Everything's on the table as far as the military's position on Mara, but who's the one with the nuclear option? How much power can one woman hold before the world says enough? And we've got Mind the Gap number 11, Out of Bodies Part 1. As the Hoodie revelation sinks in, lines are drawn in the sand, friendships are torn apart, and new mysteries come to light. Can what was said be the truth? Who is the pawn and who is the player? Meanwhile, Elle is finding her own mental world being overwhelmed now that her secret has come to light to the rest of the spirits in the garden. But that's not going to stop her from getting answers from someone who has betrayed her. Special guest artist Sammy Basri joins us for a thrilling 2-part arc, as well as the amazing Michael Gaydos killing it on alternate covers. With the first 2 volumes out, this is a great jumping on point. Join the mystery everyone is talking about. And from Valiant Entertainment, we've got Bloodshot number 12, Harbinger Wars tie-in. It's payback time. Dr. Emanuel Kerchak freed Bloodshot from Project Rising Spirit. He promised Bloodshot that the answers to his identity would be found inside PRS's secret Nevada facility. He lied. Instead, Bloodshot discovered 24 superpowered Psionic children that Kerchak then manipulated him into setting free. Now the kids are out and have ignited a Harbinger war in the middle of the Vegas Strip. Bloodshot is all that stands between them and the opposing forces of Toyo Harada and Peter Stanchek, but Bloodshot hasn't forgotten about Kerchak, and he's about to reap his revenge. And we've got Harbinger number 13, Harbinger Wars tie-in. The Renegades versus Bloodshot. At last the battle you've been waiting for, but the Harbinger hunter called Bloodshot is a much more dangerous and much more clever foe than Peter Stanchek and the Renegades ever could have anticipated. Plus, what is the secret of Toyo Harada's first Harbinger War? Out in trades this week, we've got Mind the Gap Volume 2, Wish You Were Here trade paperback. One of the top 20 books of 2012 roars on. New threats arise as the curtains pull back to reveal some of the most shocking secrets surrounding the mystery behind the attack on Elle Peterson. Meanwhile, what is her connection to a 10-year-old girl who claims to actually be Elle's mind trapped in this girl's body? All of this plus the acclaimed silent issue, Speechless, and the unmasking that changes the entire series. Collects Mind the Gap number 6 through 10. And we've got Saga Volume 2 trade paperback, collecting the epic second storyline of the smash hit series that Entertainment Weekly called, quote, the kind of comic you get when truly talented superstar creators are given the freedom to produce their dream comic, close quote. Thanks to her star-crossed parents, Marco and Alana, newborn baby Hazel has already survived lethal assassins, rampaging armies, and alien monstrosities, but in the cold vastness of outer space, the little girl encounters her family's greatest challenge yet, the grandparents. Collecting Saga number 7 through 12. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available. I broke out all the Marvel titles this week in their own video, as well as a separate video for all of DC, and even a video with all the top independent publishers. You can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com. And we'll also have links up on the leagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can find links to everything in the About section of he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.